World Course Tour 14 continues in Falkenberg, Sweden for the running of the PewDiePie 200 at the only track in NR 3 made in Sweden. Daniel Voiles starts on the pole. He gets off to a rockin' start already. Dion Scott, who is actually trailing behind Voiles by 3 points, is in the lead. The margin between Voiles and Scott is 3 points behind them, so it is an intense, wild race between these two for the points. The only difference is that Dion does not have a win yet and Daniel Voiles has a win, so a win is needed to get in the chase. There are 16 different winners already this season, and that means the next winner, the next non-winner highest in the points, will knock out one of the other winners off the chase. Amy Shelley is the one that could be off the chase if another non-winner gets their first time win at this track. Daniel Voiles, though, leads us to our first caution of the race, and there are many cautions here today. It was a total wreck fest throughout. Jordan Davis not off to a great start here at Falkenberg. He gets loose there, and then moments later, Justin Roberts, Hergeli Alonso, and Philip Goldberg in a big pile up down one of the curves. It's really, this track has a lot of skinny turns and a lot of turns. Well, a lot less turns than CIS, but it's tough turns, pretty fast turns, and you got to be really sharp on the steering wheel to get through this. Here's a tour around the track. It has a lot of uphill and downhill chicanes to get through, and it's a pretty tough course. It was made mostly for Swedish cars, so sometimes mistakes can be made with these stock cars, and that's why it's going to be a wreck fest here today. Let me just tell you that right now. And right now it's pretty tough to get onto the course right now. Sometimes they get off course. That's how tough the corners are. But it's a pretty short track. It's under a minute, like 45 seconds to complete a lap. It's a pretty short road course. And Voiles is going to hold off Dion Scott. These drivers are actually in the top 2 in points right now, so it's an intense battle. It's the battle we've been waiting for all season long. Another caution, though, came out with Brandon Nichols in the 78 getting contact with Dan Coffey and spinning on the corner. There were more wrecks there, but because of the bad camera angles this track has, I didn't bother showing them because the camera angles here are not great. Here's another wreck, third caution of the day. Alex Guerrera involved. Connor Breeden is in it. They both spun out. For some reason, they pulled cautions on that, even though they're off the track, but I guess that's the way it goes sometimes. Restart coming up with 6 to go. It was a pretty short race. Well, I said earlier, Dion Scott on the bottom looking to get a pass on Daniel Voiles. Voiles has never lost the lead throughout the entire day. He's looking to get his second win of the year. And here comes Angel Navarro also looking for that win number 2. Coming down below Dion Scott. Scott can't find a lane he could use to pass. Of these corners, he's going to have to force to turn him, and he's not going to be able to make passes a lot of opportunities. Here they come as Voiles is going to clear Scott, and now Scott's going to have to battle for second against Navarro. Ooh boy, contact between them, caution's out, and Navarro will get second away from Dion Scott. Didn't bother showing the caution. Well, here is the caution as the 24, Cody Hagan, got spun. He got turned, and this was why a caution came out. Sam Rogers, Alex Raga were in it, in the mess, so that's probably the only, legitimate caution I would say that the entire race was brought out. This set up a 2-lap showdown to the finish. Next caution ends the race, and look at Navarro go. He's going to get a good run on the high side and takes the lead on the corner. After Daniel Voiles had dominated the entire day, Navarro takes the lead away with 2 to go, and Voiles must be really shocked he let that lead slip away. It's going to be another race where a pole setter dominated the entire race and win. Voiles was going to be that guy, but was not to be. And look at this, a battle for second against him and Dion Scott. The top 2 in points battling now for second. Navarro's going to try to hold off the pack. Dion Scott gets second. Caution's out. Race is going to end under the caution flag. Angel Navarro is going to lead us to the white flag and the caution flag as he takes the lead here in Falkenberg. What a surprise. But you know what else is surprising? The very last lap under caution. Watch this. Navarro is a turn away from taking the victory, and then all of a sudden he comes down pit road. He didn't have enough fuel to make it. I never saw anybody pit throughout the entire day, so it was no surprise. Pit stops would decide the winner. Navarro still on pit road. Dion Scott He stayed out, so did Daniel Voiles. Everybody else pitted down the final corner. Start-finish line, I think Navarro's still going to win the race on pit road. He crossed the line first on pit road. I think he's won it, but the officials are saying Dion Scott actually won the race. I don't even know how that's possible because Navarro, you look very carefully, he crossed the start-finish line first under pit road, and then Scott followed him soon, but they gave Scott the win for some reason. And I don't know, this was really a confusing finish. It was mostly a boring race, but at the end came confusing. And Dion Scott, he gets his first win somehow this season. And here's one more look at the finish. You clearly see Navarro crossing the stripe first on pit road, and then Dion Scott followed him after. But they gave Scott the win for whatever reason, and this was a confusing finish that might have to be adjusted. We might have to explain a little bit in the points. So here come your final results. We'll have some explanation in the points coming up. Scott gets his first win of the season. He's in the chase, and Amy Shelley will have to work her way up to get back in the chase again. Johnny Garner would be the next one out if another non-winner wins here in the next race and to get in the chase. So we'll see you guys at Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium for our next race. This was a confusing finish, and let's show you the points, and we'll hope to get official word on that finish. Now, let me talk over the points for a bit before we go. Here are your standings. Dion Scott with that win in Falkenberg, his first this season. He finally gets into the chase, and he doesn't have to worry about being the points leader at the end of 349 without a win, being eliminated from the chase, since we have now 17 different winners this season, and that means that a few winners will have to be bumped out of the chase because there's only room for 16 drivers. Dion Scott with that one win, he got in Falkenberg today after a weird finish. Today, I still don't know what that was about anyway. But after a weird finish like that, Dion Scott gets the win he needs, and he's going to be in the chase. Unless if he just tumbles, well, he won't tumble in points. It's not possible. So he might be mathematically in the chase right now based on being the points leader, and he has that one win. His closest rival, Daniel Voiles, who actually came home in second behind him after dominating most of the day. He is 3 points behind Dion Scott. It's going to be a tight race between these two for the championship, hopefully, unless if the chase just scrambles it up, because the chase is going to reset the points for the 16 chasers only. It's going to reset it based on their wins, on the order of their wins. So the drivers with the most wins get the higher point standing into the chase. Nathan Hudson and Sam Rogers are a high priority because they have 2 wins this season, and the others 1 win will have to battle for themselves. And after 3 races, every 3 races of the chase, as you know, the bottom 4 eliminated. But I just want to talk to you about the points because I want to let you know we have 17 different winners this season. Let me scroll down to trying to scroll down a bit. My apologies there for the mess up there, but so let me scroll down you a bit. Amy Shelley now the lowest standing driver with a win, and now she is out of the chase because there are now 17 different winners, and she's the one left alone because she's the lowest in the points. If we have more than 16 winners after 349, then they'll be determined. The 16 spots are determined by most wins and then the driver's highest in points. Because we got Race Points Manager back, we don't have to use any of those tiebreakers. We don't have to use the showdown anymore to determine the chase spots. We got Race Points Manager back, so we're just going to determine it by the points, points. So that means that with 16 chase, 17 winners, and only 16 spots available, some winners will have to be bumped out. The ones lowest in points will be bumped out. They'll have to work their way up in terms of point standing after 349 in order to get to the chase spot by that race. Johnny Garner would be the next one to go down out of the chase if another driver highest in points without a win gets a win in any of our next races until 349. So 349 will determine the chase. And so if another driver higher than Gardner in points and Shelley in points wins, then that Gardner would now be out and he would have to work his way up by points, not just at 1 win anymore. Gwen Cobb is between Gardner and Shelley. If she wins and is finished higher than Gardner, then she would bump up out of Gardner out. But that would depend. Cody Hagan, Zach Fitzwater, Harple, and Acosta. I wouldn't say they're out yet, but even with a win, it's not going to help him out. That's not going to get him in the chase. Acosta, by the way, is one of few drivers without a top 5 this season. Another one being Alex Guerrera. But with the drivers below Shelley without a win, even if they win, they might not get in the chase because of where they're standing in the points. They would have to be ahead of Shelley and Gardner in order to get into the points. And the difference between Powers and, well, 2 Powers is Mason Powers is 335, Eric Powers is 320. So Eric's going to have to finish 16 spots ahead of Mason to get in the chase probably. So I'm just explaining you to a bit. Sorry if it went a bit long, but I just wanted to show you the scenarios we have right now. Our next race is Belgium. It's Spa-Francorchamps. I know Falkenberg was not what you expected, not what you wanted, but you win some, you lose some. I try putting new international courses to add a little bit more flair to it, and sometimes they don't go the way we planned. It was a wreckfest all the way, and then at the very end, it got really surprising and confusing. So hopefully that's worth like a couple minutes of your time to see that weird, strange finish that, well, we've seen a couple times, but not like this, probably. So anyway, I don't know how that Angel Navarro did not get that win over Dion Scott, but Navarro right now has a win. He might be in the chase, so Scott needed that win, so I guess they gave the win to Dion Scott for that. So unfortunately, that win is going to stand for Dion Scott. There's nothing I could really do because pretty much I want to get some drivers in the chase, and Navarro has that win, and Scott doesn't have the win. He needed the win to get in, and I couldn't take it away from him after the official scoring. So I don't know why they gave Scott the win, but the call will stand so that Dion Scott can get in the chase. Navarro still has a chance in the chase. Navarro is running in 20th in the points, so I think it's safe to say that with, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drivers behind him, 5 winners behind him, he might be mathematically in the chase. So, well, if it comes back to haunt him, we'll have to see. We'll have to find out if that depends on the situation. So, anyway, hope you guys enjoyed Falkenberg, and we'll see you guys at Belgium.